welcome to San Antonio. I have a plan how I'm going to get out of San Antonio and how I'm going to buy my way back to New York. You want to know what it is? Follow me. Lottery tickets. That's right. It's like bread on the south side of San Antonio. This is what we live on. I bought $10 worth of lottery tickets, and I'm going to be scratching them throughout the entire show. And by the end of it, I'm going to have enough money to get back to Gowanus and fight for what's right. Oh, welcome back to Gowanus Tonight, live from San Antonio. I just want to give you a few notes before this next segment. If during the segment you hear barking or a man screaming and swearing, one, our dad is helping us put in a stove. It's very labor intensive and it's probably not going to work. So if you hear swearing, that's what that is. As far as the dog barking, there's a lot of strange lights in the sky tonight. We don't know what's going on with that. I wish I owned a gun, but I don't. But to help us feel safe on this most uncertain of evenings, let me welcome our first guest, or the only guest for this segment, a good friend of mine. We go way, way back, all the way back to middle school, Mr. Ryan Paredez. All right. I feel he did that one on purpose. Like I said, we go way back. We're friends in middle school, high school. You used to drive a hearse.
Yeah. Yeah. Because it was cheap. I bought it myself. I had an uncle that was a mortician. And he had some hearses that were gone to shit that he needed to get rid of in one way or another.
Yeah.
So I bought one of them for $200. They had the S's on it, but all the leather had ripped off, so it was just like Bondo and rust, and with the metal S on the side. And back then, gas was like 84 cents a gallon, and it was, of course, to power something a boat that big,
yeah.
It had a big old 403 V8 in it. So, but back I could just throw $5 every day.
Yeah, exactly.
The gas gauge didn't work. I don't know how much $5 actually got me.
It was amazing how much didn't work on that hearse.
I fixed it if I'm not saying I'm a mechanic or anything, but everything I know about engines is because I had to fix that thing every day.
I remember there was a time I don't know why we did this, because we never went to the movies together, but this one time we decided to go to the movies.
Yeah, you could have been a doctor. I screwed you over.
You killed so many of my brain cells.
Yeah.
We were going to a movie theater that was far away anyway.
Yeah. AMC, because it was nice.
Yeah, exactly. And what happened was a lot of things came together. It was a hot day. Mm-hmm. There was no AC in your hearse at all.
No.
We knowingly got in your hearse, knowing that the exhaust was not coming out of the exhaust, but coming into the car.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that until later.
Okay.
I didn't know that till later. I would not do that to you on purpose.
And then, what should have been a 20-minute drive turned into an hour drive because instead of going this way on 410, we went this way on 410.
Yeah, they don't make grids in San Antonio; they make circles.
Right.
So we got on the right highway, but all the highways are circles. So, but we got on the wrong way.
Right, we got on the wrong side.
We went all the way around 410, all the way around the highway.
800-degree weather with exhaust fumes coming into the car.
I did not know the exhaust fumes were coming. What happened was, I guess at some point before I bought the car, the tailpipe fell off. So it went from like exhaust. Catalytic converter, and then it terminated there instead of going out the back and just seeped into the cabin of the car.
Right. So we had the windows rolled down, but there were still these things coming past us. And I'm not, like you said, you apologize.
And also the because it's a hearse, like right after the front seats, it's sealed off.
Yes, that's right.
So we're in a pretty confined area. Even with the windows down, you're just kind of breathing the same air.
Yeah, it was an experience, and of course we got to the movie late, so we didn't see the first 25 minutes of The Matrix.
No. But it didn't matter. I was so high.
Yeah, I was out of it.
On carbon monoxide.
Yeah, we had fried our flesh and our brains, and
we're completely soaking wet, high on carbon monoxide.
That was One of the highlights.
And I was probably out of gas.
That was one of the highlights.
But it was
high
84
school.
cents.
Exactly, it was only 84 cents. It's like the Wonder Years. Looking back, it was only 84 cents. We were high in carbon monoxide. It was fine.
We were laughing a lot, like more than usual. We would laugh a lot back then, but it didn't take much.
Yeah, exactly.
It didn't take much. But yeah, no, that's why me and you aren't doctors, I'm sure.
Exactly.
That and the Mexican candy with all the lead in it.
All the lead in it, yes.
Yeah.
Which you still have. You have a bucket of that still.
Oh, I don't know if that has as much lead as the stuff we grew up on.
To explain, Brooklyn, in San Antonio, we got this, it was called Chinese candy, and it was just sort of
dried plum.
Desiccated plum with a bunch of powder on it. And unfortunately, this powder they put on it
was like 40% lead.
Was 40% lead. This is true. They would sell this to children, and for years...
well, they sold it without the plums, too. The Lucas in the yellow can.
That's right.
That was just the chili powder. That was 40% lead, too, and I would just
we were eating this.
You're supposed to put it on fruit, but
we were eating a thing called Lucas by the barrel, and there was lead in it, and I'm certain this was just another way the government was trying to kill poor people, because only poor people ate this stuff.
Yeah, well, it was like... Yeah,
I don't even think the North Side heard of Lucas.
Yeah.
It was
but you know what the sad thing is?
What?
If I could find a pallet on eBay that was like smuggled in, I would eat that.
I would eat so much lead. It tasted so good. Mm. Nothing. I want to end this interview talking about something that's very near and dear to my heart, goat farming. Your family has recently got into goat farming. Now, I'm not saying your wife and children, because you don't have a wife and children, but
my parents.
Your parents are goat farmers now.
Well, yeah, I mean, they'd always had goats. Well, they're retired.
Yeah.
Because I'm older, so they're older, too.
That's how it works,
Yeah. So they're retired, and they like goats. I mean, they really like goats. I mean, of course they sell them to be slaughtered and killed and eaten.
Of course.
But they name every single one of them. Okay. They can't keep all of them. They only have so much space. So they raise goats and they sell goats. But no, it's cool. You know what? And they're cute.
Yeah.
They're really darn cute with it. I mean, I feel... No, I don't feel bad. I really like the way they taste too. I will never eat one of their goats. I will eat goat.
Yeah.
But... At the same time, like I look at it, like, yeah, that's cute, man.
So if it so happens that if I just invited you over one day and gave you some goat over rice and you were eating it, that was really good, and then I told you it's one of your goats, Ryan.
Too late.
That's the right attitude.
I can't live in the past.
Alright, so everybody in Brooklyn, if you want to come to San Antonio, you can raise goats. There's plenty of room to do it. I want to thank Ryan for doing this interview, and hopefully we're going to get a song here pretty soon. So we'll be right back to Gowanus Tonight, live from San Antonio. Nope. What type of guitar is that?
This is, I believe, a 52 Silvertone archtop that I purchased in Tennessee.
Tennessee, all right. Yeah. And what is the name of the song you're going to be performing for us tonight?
So far, it's called Swim.
All right, Swim. Let's hear it.
Swim, I just needed more, but this pain's too long and I can't swim. can't swim. If I need to go by my pillow slow and I can't swim, but you need it more. But I need to come and I can't swim. Every night's a rush and my pillow songs. May your friends they take you home, and you wanna be alone. Then your heart returns to stone, and I'll bury you alone. And you want love, but you can't be loved. And you want home, but you can't be loved. And you're feeling glow, and the night's so long I can't swim. If I need a rush, I will need more touch, and I can't swim. And I wanna blow, push the needle slow, and I can't swim. Everyone's a crush, and this pain's too much. May your friends they take you home, but you wanna be alone. Then your heart returns to stone, then you'll bury me alone. Thank you.
Bonjour, and welcome to Gowanus Tonight, live from San Antonio, straight from Austin, Texas, after dark. Joining me tonight in this midnight rendezvous is Stefany Wood.
Cheers.
Cheers. What I want to talk about, Slutty Abe Lincoln. What the hell was that about?
I mean, the premise was that not only was he the 16th president of the United States, he was also a slut.
This isn't just an actual person. You're Slutty Abe Lincoln.
Aren't we all a little bit slutty Abe Lincoln?
There's a bit of Slutty Abe Lincoln in all of us, is what you're saying?
That's what I'm saying.
Maybe.
Would you like there to be?
Where did you get the idea for Slutty Abe Lincoln?
Well, I have a lot of sex dreams about historical figures, but I didn't think anybody would recognize Sir Isaac Newton, so I
Sure.
went with Slutty Abraham Lincoln.
Slutty Sir Isaac Newton.
That would be pretty hot.
I guess. I don't. They're your sex dreams. What other famous historical figures would you have sex dreams about?
Grover Cleveland, Madame Curie.
Okay. Before or after the radiation poisoning?
Well, I mean, she looked the same. It's not like Clone High where she turned into a mutant.
I assumed like she got a bunch of tumors on her face. Like I thought that's what happened.
No, she was very cavalier about eating radium, and so she did die of radium poisoning.
If you're gonna eat radium, you better be cavalier about it. If it's not something you should just do timidly. Either way, you're gonna die.
Get a spoon.
I mean, would it really kill them to just put another $2 there? Nothing. Now, here's a subject that you turned me on to, which I knew nothing about over a month ago. The Texas killing fields.
Yeah, you're turned on to that?
You turned me on to the Texas killing fields.
It's a poor choice of words.
I don't want a slutty Abe Lincoln in me, but you turned me on to the Texas killing fields.
Yeah.
Can you explain the Texas killing fields to the people of Brooklyn?
The people of Brooklyn, okay. There is a serial killer that's been operating in the area from which I grew up. For decades, he's killed people I know. So, and this is, they've never caught him. They find the bodies in the same place every time, so they're pretty sure that this is the same guy. Yeah, and apparently it makes Anthony engorged. So
I wouldn't say engorged, it's just fascinating. That there's this one area, and you subscribe to the theory that it's one killer.
I think it is, yeah.
Whereas a lot of people think it's just a good place to dump bodies. So it's a lot of people just dumping. To be fair, it's almost always young women.
Yes.
But
yeah, and it's not prostitutes. It's not like the guy in the Green River Killer. These are little girls, 12-year-old girls, and moms and people with families who you would notice if they went missing.
Right.
So you gotta work pretty hard.
Right. You mentioned the Green River Killer. Who are some of your favorite serial killers?
I'm kind of a Ted Bundy girl, you know.
Yeah, most girls are, it seems. I like the guy. When I say like, I'm not saying I like the man or what he did, but what fires my imagination is the guy who melted everybody with acid. The acid serial killer.
What?
He had barrels of acid apparently just lying around, and he would just dissolve people in these barrels of acid.
Are you sure you're not thinking of the guy from Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
No.
Christopher Lloyd's character.
Judge Doom? No, I'm not thinking.
Was it Judge Doom? I didn't know that was his name.
He wasn't a serial killer. Those were all sanctioned by the law.
Yeah, but he killed that poor shoe.
Yeah, that was kind of weird. Like, nobody said anything.
No.
You just murdered a living creature. You're right in the middle of a Hollywood set.
I mean, yeah, the shoe probably never hurt anybody. I can't guarantee that. I don't know.
It could have been a Nazi shoe for all we know, though.
We don't know his backstory.
We were better off without that shoe.
It could have been terrible.
Box wine.
Box wine.
What's it all about?
Well, if you open a bottle of wine and you only drink part of it and you save the rest for later, it's going to get gross. So if it's, wine that you're going to drink in 2 or 3 days, it's a bit unpalatable. Box wine stays good. Also, it makes me feel like a real woman. Only ladies drink box wine. Have you noticed that?
No, I can tell you for a fact that that's not true. Me and the cameraman, who I'll reveal right now, is Sean McCoy. We've had our box wine or two.
Have you really?
Yeah. Well, it was mainly to make, what was it?
Gatorade and box wine.
Gatorade and box wine, okay.
Wow. Was it like a red Gatorade and a white wine? Because that would probably be tasty.
I cannot remember my life back in those days.
It's like yellow Gatorade and red Franzia.
Ooh. So it makes like an orange?
It's
like
it's kind of a sweet.
Give me the camera, hold on. Explain.
It's kind of like a sweet, almost dessert wine, like a Riesling or an ice wine. It's fruity on the nose. It's got a very strong bouquet. It's not very complex, but it cleanses your palate just amazingly. And you're rehydrating as you're getting drunk.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Yeah, it's like a Four Loko for beginners.
What kind of Doritos does it pair with?
Orange, because it's orange. So I guess that's the cheddar or the cheesy blast.
You live in a sketchy neighborhood.
I do.
What is the sketchiest, one of the sketchiest, you don't have to tell me the sketchiest because it'll probably be depressing, but what is one of the more sketchy things that's happened around here?
Okay, the neighborhood's gotten a little bit better, but when I first moved in, it was really bad. That little strip mall across the street used to be an abandoned grocery store that junkies would shoot up in.
Sure.
So I almost stepped on needles going to the bus stop a couple times, which is super fun because flanking this strip mall / abandoned grocery store hop house is 2 elementary schools. So that's just it's setting a good example for the children.
Mm-hmm.
One night I walked to the corner store to buy a 6-pack, and on my way back, a guy tried to convince me to go with him to buy some meth. And I'm a little embarrassed about how close he was to being successful in that endeavor.
Yeah, that doesn't sound good.
No. Well,
But the sketchiness of your neighborhood sometimes leads to good things. You were telling me yesterday about an acid trip that changed your life.
oh no, I've never done acid.
What was it?
Mushrooms.
Can you tell me a little bit about that trip again?
Okay. I listened to Bob Dylan and wept, and then I chased deer through the woods for 5 hours.
5 hours.
Never caught one, but I did see a dead one on the side of the road, and I'm going to count that as a win.
And you ended up miles from your house.
I did, yeah. On the other side of the highway. I don't even know how that happens. I never crossed a road. I just ran through trees.
What happened with your shoes again?
They were so encased in mud that I thought that the mushrooms were stronger than I had initially expected, and that I couldn't move my feet. But it just turned out that I had 6-pound mud shoes around my regular shoes, so I kicked those off.
You lead a fascinating life.
Thank you. I try.
And I am so happy you decided to be on my show tonight.
I wanted to do it tomorrow.
I know. But it had to be tonight. Stefany Wood, thank you for being on Gowanus tonight. Last one. There has to be one of these that wins something. I spent $10. That can't be nothing. This has to win me something. That's what the odds are. This has to win me something, right? So this is it. This is it. I'm gonna get $3 grand. I'm gonna get $1,000 a week for the next 20 years, and that's more than enough to get me back to Gowanus. Let's do this. Let's do this. And that was Gowanus Tonight, live from San Antonio.